In this video, we'll go over the practice worksheet that reviews all of the 6.1 material. So in this first section, 1 through 6, the directions say determine which of the following sequences are arithmetic, geometric, or neither. Then it says if it's arithmetic or geometric, they want us to then identify the common difference or the common ratio. So let's review really quick. If it's arithmetic, remember we're adding a common number each time. If it's geometric, we're multiplying by a common number each time. And then if it's neither, it means it's not following either of those patterns. So let's look at number 1. Number 1 goes 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So I'm adding 1 each time. So since I'm adding a common number, this is an arithmetic sequence. And then they want me to state my common difference, so say what D equals. So D equals positive 1, because that's what I added each time. If you look at number 2, 4 to 12, 12 to 36, 36 to 108. Well, I know that 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 3 is 36. Let's see, 36 times 3 is also 108. So I'm multiplying by a common number each time. So that means this is a geometric sequence. And my common ratio is 3. Because when it's geometric, we have a common ratio, or we say what R is equal to. Number 3, I'm adding 2 each time because my negative numbers are getting smaller, so I know I'm adding. So again, since I'm adding, it's an arithmetic sequence, and my common difference is positive 2. All right, number 4, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2. Okay, so this is geometric, and my common ratio is 2. All right, 20, or negative 20, negative 10, 0, 10, 20. Well, I know for this part, 0 plus 10 is 10, 10 plus 10 is 20, but we have to make sure the pattern works for the whole thing. So negative 20 plus 10, that's negative 10, and then negative 10 plus 10 would be 0. So this is arithmetic again, and my common difference is positive 10. Number 6 is a little bit tricky. I'm going negative 1, 1, negative 1, 1, negative 1. Well, negative 1 plus 2 would get me 1, but then I'd have to minus 2 to go to negative 1. So it's not going to be arithmetic. But if I do negative 1 times negative 1, that gets me 1. And 1 times negative 1 gets me negative 1. And negative 1 times negative 1 gets me positive 1. And positive 1 times negative 1 will get me back to negative 1. So this is actually a geometric sequence. It's kind of a funny one. My common ratio is going to be negative 1. All right, so this next section says, given the explicit formula for a sequence, find the first 4 terms of the sequence. So they gave us each an equation, and we need to find the first 4 terms. So that means I need to find term number 1, term number 2, term number 3, term number 4. And each of those are going to be what n equals. So to find term number 1, I'm going to substitute 1 in for n. And then to find term number 2, I'm going to sub 2 in, and then 3, and then 4. So if I want to find term number 1, which we call A1, I'm going to replace this n with 1. And then I'm just going to type this in my calculator. So negative 11 plus 7 times 1 is negative 4. Then I'm going to do the same thing for A2. So A2, or term number 2, is negative 11 plus 7 times 2, which is 3. A3 is negative 11 plus 7 times 3, which will be 10. And A4 is negative 11 plus 7 times 4. So 17. So this would be term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4. So if you had trouble with this section, go ahead and pause the video now and see if you can do 8, 9, and 10 on your own, and then play the video to check it. If you've already done it, then continue watching the video. So we're going to do the same thing for all of these. I'm going to find A1, A2, A3, and A4 by substituting 1, 2, 3, and 4 in for n. So this one's really similar to number 7. So 65 minus 100 times 1 is negative 35. And I'm going to have 65 minus 100 times 2 is negative 135. And then 65 minus 100 times 3, negative 235. And then 65 minus 100 times 4, negative 335. All right, 9's a little bit trickier. When I go to find A1, I'm going to have 3 to the 1 minus 1. Well, I want to do this subtraction up top first, so I'm going to actually have 3 to the 0 power. And then I'll plug that in my calculator, or if you remember it from our exponent unit, anything to the 0 power is 1. I'm going to do the same thing with 2. So 3 to the 2nd power minus 1 is 3 to the 1st power, which is 3. 3 to the 3rd power minus 1 is 3 to the 2nd power, which is 9. 3 to the 4th power minus 1 is 3 to the 3rd power, which would be 27. And then 10 is a little bit the trickiest of overall, but we can definitely do it after we've already done 7, 8, and 9. So I'm going to have negative 4 times 3 to the 1 minus 1. So I'm going to do it similarly to how I did number 9. So I'm going to do negative 4 times 3 to the 0 power. And I'm going to type it in my calculator just like that, parentheses and all. So negative 4 times 3 to the 0 power is going to give me negative 4. A2. Negative 4 times 3 to the 2 minus 1. Negative 4 times 3 to the 1st is negative 12. Negative 4 times 3 to the 3 minus 1 equals negative 4 times 3 squared, which would be negative 36. Negative 4 times 3 to the 4 minus 1 equals negative 4 times 3 to the 3rd, which would be negative 108. All right, so this next section says, now they're giving us the formula, and instead of finding like the first 4 terms, we're just going to find the 10th term. So when I'm finding just one term, I'm just going to plug in that one number for n. So I'm going to say that n is equal to 10. So if I want to find A10, I'm going to do 10 minus 6 times 10, which would be negative 50. And that would be my answer for this one. Same thing with 12. A10 would equal 2 times 10 plus 5, which would equal 25. And that would be my answer for this one. So when we're finding just a single term, like just the 10th term, we're just plugging in just the one number. Versus in the problems above, we were finding the first 4 terms, we need to plug in 1 through 4. Now let's go on to the back. So on this back page, we are reviewing what we did on the very first day, which is determining if a table represents a linear, exponential, quadratic, or neither function. So let's review a little bit. So if I have a linear function, that means I'm adding the same number each time, just like with an arithmetic sequence. If I have exponential, I'm multiplying by the same number each time. Now quadratic's a little bit trickier. Quadratic we're going to add, but it's not going to be the same number, and it's always going to be, we call it our second common difference. So it's basically the second number we add is going to be the same. And I'll kind of show this to you in one of our examples. And then if it doesn't follow any 3 of these patterns, we just say it's neither. So let's look at number 13. So I'm going negative 2 to 1, 1 to 4, 4 to 7, 7 to 10. Well, I know 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10. So let's do this with my calculator. Negative 2 plus 3, well, that's 1. So since I'm adding each time, I know that this is a linear function. Now let's look at number 14. I'm going negative 6 to negative 6, so that's plus 0. And then negative 6 to negative 4 is plus 2. And then negative 4 to 0 is plus 4. And then 0 to 6 is plus 6. Okay, now this is a little bit odd, but that's okay. Because I want to look again to see maybe if it's that quadratic thing, it's that second common difference. So 0 to 2 is plus 2. 2 to 4 is plus 2. 4 to 6 is plus 2. So when it's that second row of adding, that's how I know number 14 is quadratic. I know that's a little bit weird. We're always looking for that, again, we call it that second common difference. It's that second row we're adding is the same. All right, let's look at 15. So 15, I'm going 1/2 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16. Well, okay, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. So let's try my calculator. 1/2 times 2 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So I'm multiplying by a common number each time. So I can see that when I'm multiplying, I know that this is going to be exponential. All right, 16. 14 to negative 9, negative 9 to negative 4, and so on and so forth. So I always start with the positive side. So 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 plus 5 is 16. So that works for that half. Let me make sure it works for the other half. So in my calculator, I'm going to do negative 14 plus 5. And I do get negative 9. I'm going to do negative 9 plus 5, and I do get negative 4. And then negative 4 plus 5, and I get 1. So since I'm adding each time, I know this is a linear function. All right. 3 to 0, well, that's minus 3. 0 to negative 1 is minus 1. Negative 1 to 0 is plus 1. 0 to 3 is plus 3. 3 to 8 is plus 5. 8 to 15 is plus 7. Okay, so, well, I know it's not linear or exponential because I'm not adding or multiplying by a common number. But let's try this. So, negative 3 to negative 1, that's plus 2. Negative 1 to 1 is plus 2. 1 to 3 is plus 2. 3 to 5 is plus 2. 5 to 7 is plus 2. So again, it's that second common difference again. So I know that this is a quadratic function. All right, so I'm going 1 to 0 is minus 1. 1 to negative 1 is minus 1. 1 to negative 2 is minus 1. But then I start going back up, so that's plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. And I can see that there's no multiplication that would work here, and there's no common adding, and it's not a second common difference because these don't change and these don't change. So this isn't actually an example of neither. So it's not linear, it's not exponential, and it's not quadratic. All right, these last two are a little bit more real world problems. So in number 19, it says time and then temperature. So always make sure that your x, or in this case your time, is going up by a common one. So plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. So we're good there. Then down here, I'm going down. So let's figure out how much I'm going down by. It's going down pretty slowly. So I know that it's going to be more of a linear versus an exponential, because exponential would go down really, really fast. So let's do 375. Actually, let's do a trick. I'm going to take the second number, 325, and I'm going to minus 375. So 325 minus 375, and I get negative 50. So that means 375 minus 50 is 325. So let's try it now. Let's use that pattern. Let's do 325 minus 50. Well, that works again. 275 minus 50, 225. So my pattern is minus 50, minus 50, minus 50. So since if I'm adding or subtracting a common, I know that this pattern is linear, because it's either adding or subtracting by a common number. All right, number 20 says day or time in days, and then number of people who received the email. So on day 0, 8 people received the email. Then on day 1, 56, and then day 2, day 3. Whoa, those numbers get really big. So I'm guessing that I'm multiplying by something. So let's think 8 times what is 56? 8 times 7. So let's see if that pattern works again. 56 times 7. Oh, well, that's 392. And let's try it again. 392 times 7 is 2,744, excuse me. So since I'm multiplying by a common number, that means this is an exponential function. If you have any further questions on this worksheet, feel free to email me or Mr. Theriault, and we'll happily work with you, and we can schedule a time to video conference and answer any of your questions.